It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the full shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Wayne Miller.
This is It's Movie Time.
That's right, and John, I think we're going to be taking a tiny step for film critics, but a huge step forward for mankind.
All right, look, I'm just about had it with this Apollo stuff. So you're telling me we've got Apollo 11, a documentary.
Yes.
Is this thing going to be worth seeing?
I think so. I liked it. It's nothing that you could not watch on TV, but it's on the big screen, and I think that's what really made it. And they had this footage that's never been shown before.
Oh, that's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways they probably restored some of the films. You know, because this is the second documentary in a month that we've reviewed. The other one, of course, They Shall Not Grow Old, the old World War I.
And in this genre, we're going to have First Man is not a documentary.
Right. Yes.
Which is up for an Oscar.
Yes, and it's and we like First Man.
Yes.
And so I think it's appropriate, though. It's such a milestone in American history, and for some reason it did not dawn on me until I'm sitting in the theater and watching Apollo 11. I thought, my God, 1969. This is the 50th year reunion.
Yeah.
You know, what's the big deal right now? But I liked it. It was kind of slow going sometimes, but as a historian, that, you know, in seeing actual footage and how they got some of that footage, it's kind of like, my God, we're talking about, 50 years ago, and here, cameras strapped to what looked like an aluminum foil dish.
Well, as it tracks along inside Houston.
Yes.
And you've got all these monitors, but there's nothing near the computer power that we have probably in one machine, that they're all working. And there's, I got two things that I really like about this. First of all, it's not the standard documentary in the sense that there's no narrator.
Exactly.
Everything is edited together. In fact, it won at Cannes, I think, for editing, as it really should be.
Yeah.
The story is told in the images and
some of the not that many boring talking head interviews.
No, right. It's original. It's original audio.
Yeah.
And they put it in there, and it sounds organic to the whole thing. And so when I see it, here's what I love. First of all, I love the new images, and secondly, I love the fact that without our contemporary computer power and all the differences 50 years later, these people are working together.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that a beautiful example of collaboration?
And so many, like you said, the tracking shots there at Mission Control, but particularly there at Cape Canaveral or Cape Kennedy, that as the camera is kind of going down, and all these basically 30-ish white men in white short sleeve shirts and ties, and row after row of them on the monitors. And I kept thinking, the first thing that came to my mind was, what are they doing? What are their jobs?
I know.
Because as you look, and some of these monitors, Mike, or like these typewritten, sheets, reams of stuff.
Right, there are all these nerdy guys chain smoking.
Yeah,
I mean,
that one's fun. Or with pipes, they have that professorial.
Some of them have no affect, and others get excited. I mean, I love the fact that there's so much diversity right in the action.
Yep.
And when you think about it, that 50 years ago we put somebody on the moon, and we brought them back. Oh my gosh!
And you look at that, because I was amazed at when they were showing the capsule itself. And it looked like it was wrapped up in an aluminum foil, especially when Armstrong and Aldrin were on the moon's surface, they were checking out. And here's, these little landing, tripod legs or whatever, and it looks like, my God, it looked like a Tyson TV dinner.
But you mentioned it, and I think it bears saying that this is a a great companion piece to First Man.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, almost you see it. You should see it side by side.
First Man goes into the psyche of Neil Armstrong.
Yes.
Apollo 11 doesn't even attempt to do that.
No.
And in fact, your three stars, Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins,
Conrad?
Michael Collins.
Collins, yeah,
right?
okay, yes.
The three of them are there, but they're hardly the centerpiece. The whole project is the centerpiece.
Well, and you don't, you see some, little bit of footage of their families, but not that much.
Oh yeah, a couple of images, right.
That was it.
You
It
want
was
background?
kinda like,
We'll give you a couple of photos.
Yeah.
But that's it, we're getting to the job.
but, very interesting, some of the footage that I had never seen of them in the capsule. They're shaving, whatever, and you think, oh my God, what, how claustrophobic. But also, these guys are tens of thousands of miles away, and not knowing if they could, especially because, it was just a few years after Gus Grissom and the other two burned up in an Apollo spacecraft. And then since then, and I kept thinking about like the Challenger, the shuttles.
Yes.
That.
Now, Apollo 13. Remember anything about that? I know Tom Hanks was in that.
Yes, and they even he saw a little bit because he was a member of the backup crew, Jim Lovell.
Okay.
And but in that one, they were supposed to land on the moon, but they had to abort the.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Houston,
right.
we have a problem.
Oh, excellent.
And, Kevin Bacon and I think Bill Paxton
Great.
was in
Okay.
that.
So people should not confuse.
Which I did.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I get the numbers all
Yeah,
mixed
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and I should remember. My God, Apollo 11. Because what's interesting, I think this would be good for the younger generations. I remember I was 20 at the time, and in '69, and watching it, and was just kind of amazed like this is happening. But I was a college student, and what was interesting was in this that there was a brief mention. It was a newscast, and talking about Apollo 11 and elsewhere in the world and what's happening. And one was Chappaquiddick.
Oh, I know
Kennedy.
they did. You're right.
And I'm thinking, wow, that's right. But then they also mentioned, and it's been a quiet week in Vietnam.
Yes.
That was right at that peak there.
That's right.
American
That's right.
involvement
So
in '69.
contextually, it does have those two, and I do remember vividly that Chappaquiddick reference that you could hear.
Yes.
And saying to myself, man, that's big.
Yeah, especially since they made a point, and I think particularly at the end, Kennedy's speech.
I know.
About landing a man.
But you know what? Even old Nixon comes off pretty well.
Yes. Yes.
He gives him a great speech.
Yeah. The phone call.
Yes. Yes.
To them, but the other thing that I was really kind of really intrigued with this, because we're so used to Armstrong's quote about the small step and giant leap and stuff like that, but almost how to see the more extended footage that from a camera that was kind of like probably on one of the tripods, because you didn't see, he said the hatch is open and you see him kind of going, just like around the corner, coming down, the ladder. He says, I'm on the front porch, now I'm going down the ladder. And it was kind of like it brought a more human element rather than this obviously epic moment.
Yes.
But how kind of like mundane. Well, I'm walking down the steps now. I'm going to take the first step.
No, but
and talking about how the fine ground cover that like almost like sand. He says, but it's kind of solid. Just mundane stuff.
But
like
you're confirming my feeling about this is that it is the mission itself that is the star here.
Yeah.
So that you're quite right. They don't even emphasize. Well, you do see the flag in a few places. That'll help some people get over their angst about that.
Yeah.
But basically, you're right. It isn't even about the astronauts. It's about everybody working together on this project.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to break with tradition here, and I'm going to tell you that I think this is close to a perfect documentary, and I'm going to award it an A.
Yeah.
Wayne Miller, the film is Apollo 11. Your historian's view of this is what grade?
Yeah, I'm giving it an A too.
Excellent.
You know, it's and the only thing of it that I was kind of wondering about, they would, which I liked, but I wonder if it was a newer type of addition to the documentary. The little where they showed the Earth and the Moon and the
Yes.
how, and the trajectory, but
Yes.
also how they would maneuver the little space capsule to link in. But yeah, it's excellent, and like you said, it's astounding that send somebody up and they land on the moon, especially when they were about to abort the mission because there was a leak, and there's a guy with a hard hat that's going to tighten up the bolts, you know, on the leak that they had, and we're thinking, holy cow!
And I'm reminded that what they really were missing were some of the figurines from your office, so they could put them down.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I should have brought, you know, like a little space capsule, or if nothing else, the MTV logo, which is the Moon Man. Yeah.
Well, that's okay, because I have this photo here you can't see anyway.
Yeah. I bet if somebody's gonna look at the documentary based on that, you know, please.